One of the biggest obstacles facing the new president was Nigeria's instability since independence. People had become used to scenes like these. Two previous democratic regimes had never overcome ethnic and regional conflict. They'd been rife with corruption. Babangida may have been a quiet-spoken family man, but he was determined such chaos shouldn't happen again. So he started the most far-reaching consultation of all. He set up a political bureau to find a new model for the future. The aim was to give real meaning to the ideals of stability and unity.
The bureau reported also back after consultation with the people of the country about the type of government they wanted in the country, the role that various organizations in the country are going to play, a timetable for the eventual return to civil rule. All these were brought about by the report of that bureau, and these were the collective ideas of the entire people of the country. So that also helped us in trying to sensitize the people and get the direction. You want to go and catch them?
Why could Babangida consult so much when others before him hadn't?
Why?
The answers lie in his past, his distinguished military career, a lieutenant by the time he was 25, a major before he was 30. Most people had heard about his role in suppressing Dimka's attempted coup in 1976. His support within the army was crucial. People said he'd had a hand in several coups, so even though he was Army Chief of Staff under Buhari, it was no surprise he took over in 1985. Fewer people knew he'd been an orphan. Those close to him say this spurred his self-discipline and his ambition. Above all, he was clever.
No one up.
I knew him from his Lieutenant Colonel days, and I knew he had this rather intellectual approach to things. He would rather listen to diverse opinion on any issue, and he relished the idea of throwing questions in a gathering, you know, a poser, for instance, and then listening to what everybody was saying. And he read rather widely too, and we were, various occasions we met, always exchanging views on what he was reading, you know, his perception of world politics, domestic politics, rather gingerly, being a military officer, of course. And then, you know, I thought he had had enough time to prepare himself intellectually for the job, and that he might, you know, make a good go at it.
He needed to prepare. He knew he had to break with the old politics, ethnic loyalties, electoral fraud, wheeler dealing. To do this, he needed to show his conciliation didn't mean weakness. He now prepared for a radical new agenda. First, to remove the shadow of corruption, he banned past politicians from seeking office. He was clearing the decks for new ideas, a new breed of leaders to break with a cycle of unrest. Reactions were mixed. Some didn't like the ban.
Anybody alive should be there to help. When you are in the boat afloat, you will never really know the potentialities of a good many until you give them opportunity.
My view is that if it were possible to isolate those persons who had committed electoral crime in the past, then they will have been singled out and punished according to the law. If that included disqualification, so be it. But a blanket approach would be difficult to defend and to sustain.